it in there, 2 strips, and he eats it like a bonefish. I got a 5 weight, and it is not big enough. Nice largemouth, and that's kind of just an average one, if not a little bit on the. Yes! That thing's a donkey. Sticks. Oh God, he's gonna eat me in the sticks. That's a big fish. Woo!
In the dark, we've tried 50 flies, so we might as well try 51.
Thanks for the net. Fishing a western reservoir situation, and one of the things we're dealing with is the water's receding pretty fast. So it seems like you find these fish, and then even the next day they might be in a completely different spot. It's been about 3 weeks since I fished bass here legitimately, so I'm looking for some deeper waters close to a drop off with rocks and sticks. It kind of seems to be where they were hanging out. It's 20 feet right here, and then 50 feet in the basin, 40 or 50 yards out. So I think that's key. I'm not sure, but I think it's key for having the water dropping out so fast in this reservoir. Just worked a little bank here. I had a couple bass on it the other day, but nothing. That's the game right now, and normally out here with me, it seems like figure something out, think, all right, I got him, and then the next day it's there, it's all different. So like Louis made a good point, it could be because the water is receding so fast, or there is a lot of food in this lake. They don't have to work too hard to get food, so there's probably those bass probably push in, feed for a few hours on some bluegill. They eat a big bluegill, they don't have to eat for a day or two probably, so just catching different bass on different day, or water's receding, who knows, but the deal is you just got to work hard. We're not scared of that.
Yeah, so going out, we know typically whenever I do anything new, it doesn't matter really what it is, what it's fishing for or hunting for, it takes you a couple days to kind of figure out and get a feel for things, especially with fishing. I really feel that fishing is a lot of an attitude that gives you your luck, and it makes it a better experience. When you do the work, it kind of repays you.
One of the things that we use, since the carp are so spooky, they're such a spooky fish, Monarch Fly Lines makes a line called a Henley Phantom Tip, and it gives you 15 feet of clear line off the front of this thing. It casts really well, but also gives you that advantage for any spooky fish. Really, we use it on the Deschutes this year, dry fly fishing, but for carp fishing, it's money. They make a Henley all clear line as well. That works really good, but my personal preference is the Phantom Tip. Swam up and slurped it. I was like, there's one right there. I actually just had my fly in the water, adjusting the motor, and I lifted up and there was a fish there. I'd like to say that was all skill, but oh, at least they're gonna eat the crawdad fly maybe. Nah, decent. Get a little tug on the 5-weight anyway. One of the things I know about chasing carp on the fly is we're gonna have to make long, accurate casts, probably match the hatch to exactly what they're eating. Oh, she's a dandy. Have had a few opportunities in the shallows with those fish, throwing a little damsel in there. There isn't a ton of damsels coming off, honestly. And they turn on it, Louis had to turn on it too, and they just didn't seem to be loving it for whatever reason. So I switched to a little crawdad imitation. It's actually a shrimp, a fully milled shrimp fly, but it sits right and it's about the right color for a crawdad here. And it sits like it needs to, and yeah, he just hammered that thing.
Fly fish for the carp and actually targeted them, went in after them. They're so big, and you know, even with the pretty heavy fly rod, you're still getting a heck of a fight with these fish. They're tough, they go for a long ways. They're very much like a bonefish.
It has to be perfect for these carp. It makes it in there, 2 strips, and he eats it like a bonefish. I put that brown damsel on. That's a big one. Louis got an 8-weight, a Thomas & Thomas 8-weight, and I got a 5-weight, and it is not big enough for these fish. Dude, this thing's freaking huge. That was awesome. I just saw that carp. Just saw the little group of carp up here in the shallows just feeding. They were up there just feeding, and I just switched flies. Changed to a brown damsel. Louis running an olive. This other one's chasing him. Look at that size of that one. That one that's with him, look at the size of him. That thing's 25 pounds. All right, Louis, can you net this one for me? Yeah! Toad!
Oh my God, on a 5-weight.
On a 5-weight, yeah. Look at that toad, huh? Dude. It's almost all sight fishing, which is awesome. You can see these fish working. If you get too close, or even at all close, they know you're there, they won't touch your fly. And a lot of the times, if you slap a cast down, they're gone. Go. Shallows. It's all fun. It's like anything else though, you gotta match the hatch. Louis running a green, they didn't seem to want it. I switched up to the brown and it was almost automatic.
There was 2 of them, and then I started stripping it faster and playing with him a little bit.
He liked it faster, huh?
Yeah. Well, when they were kind of competing with each other.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit easier on them.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. He's feisty. There we go.
And it kind of felt like I knew what I was doing at that point, knew what they were trying to eat, and just got them in the right place. And then, of course, with the clear line, I didn't spook the fish. I actually lined the fish at one point and didn't spook any of them.
So we switched spots. We got into a new spot. Some fish popping over here. We decided we'd give it another hour or so, see if we can pick up another fish or 2. But they seem to have kind of, we can still see the fish, but they're just chilling. You cast to them, they kind of follow up, but they don't eat it. So it seems like we had a couple hours there where we got the cast right. We got to see the fish that they would actually physically run that thing down. So. Oh. Just freaking crushed her off the top. I don't think he spooked the other ones either. They're still up. It just wrapped right around that stick. Yeah, I just pulled it right off the stick. That was cool. It's a nice fish. I didn't sight fish that one. I was casting to a pond that I could see the sticks. I could actually see the sticks moving that they were hitting. And I threw it right next to that first stick and he just crushed it right off the bat. I think the key is just getting to them before they know you're here. They're pretty fish. Okay. They're so spooky, but if they're just laid up, sitting, chilling, it's like you can't get them to eat anything. But if they're out here feeding and moving around, you see them, you get it, you have to make a giant cast to them. It has to be just about right. And once you figure it out, it's pretty fun. We've got some pretty serious, had some pretty serious takes so far this morning, or today. It's getting to be like 2 o'clock or so, and it doesn't seem like the fish are really slowed down, but Louie and I have slowed down. It's getting hot. So we're gonna call it at that. We put a couple fish to the boat and it just starts to die. It just seems like the bite, you know, they're still there. They're not eating the damsels for some reason. Either they're not hatching, they're too spooky, I'm not sure. It's getting to be 100 degrees on this desert lake. It's hot. Time to give it a shot the next day.
Morning, Jackson.
Morning, Louie.
Brought you a life jacket today so you don't drown. We didn't have one for you. We got here and we're like, oh, should have brought a life jacket for Jackson. Should key in a little better.
Carp smackdown, day 2. But first, we're gonna chase some bass. All right.
But this is the lake I grew up with. I've been here since I was born. I mean, you know, I was born 20 minutes away from here and have been here more than any other lake ever. You know, I have more memories of this lake than any other lake anywhere.
Oh, you got one?
No, little one. Little whitey. Yeah. Almost as big as the lure.
That's a pretty big white bass.
Yeah. Yeah, only the best. I wanted a largemouth, but I'll take a whitey. That's okay. Any fish is better than no fish.
These wake baits, something that I haven't fished till just recently. Fish Lab came out with these new BioGill wake baits, and like I said, I've never really fished them that much. We started fishing them here in the last few weeks, and man, the largemouth and smallmouth are keyed into bluegill for sure, and they're getting them to eat them. As soon as it hits the bank, they're like the ones that are feeding are pushed up close to the rocks, and as soon as it hits the water, they just attack it. Just as soon as it hit the water. As soon as it hit the water. On this little spinning rod, it's pretty fun. Hey Louie, can I get the net? Look at that. Look at that largemouth. Right. Well, yeah, that's a fatty. Yeah, bam! On the wake bait. Right on.
That is a fatty. That's a nice fish.
Yeah, look at that. Boom! There you go.
Waiting all that time for it.
Yeah, that's what we've been wanting to show you. So, well, Haunting is producing some really nice largemouth. I mean, that's kind of just an average one, if not a little bit on the small side, but you can tell. I mean, that's a great fish. I mean, just as soon as it hit the water too on that wake bait. The main body. Got a little one too. What'd you get? White bass. It's such a different morning. The carp are going nuts. So thinking like, well, you know, we were gonna bass fish this morning for a little while because, you know, the carp didn't do anything yesterday till noon or so, but they're all up, and there's some big carp. So, you know, bass fishing, we got, yeah, potential to catch a nice bass, 3, 4, 5 pounds, maybe an 8. But with the carp, we got potential of 30 pounders. I mean, there's legit 30-pound carp in here. Lots of them. So we might switch to big game hunting here pretty soon. The bass are moving out into the deep quick. It's warming up. The carp are eating. It's Louie's birthday. Let's go try to get him a 20-pounder. Carp are calling. I can't take it. So you're gonna throw the 8 weight. I'll throw the 5 weight again.
Use out here. It looks like it's probably just an orange damsel, which is a little different than the variation we were using.
Weight. Just moving a little bit. It's casting a few different fish. Working it in and out of here. Louis saw a bunch of these podding up down here, so we decided to start moving. Seems like the one just kind of saw us. Get him, Jackson. And the new Adams built ghost net. Adams built came out with our hottest selling series of nets in a ghost netting. It's way better for these carp. They don't get stuck in that.
I just thought maybe I could get one to suck something off the top. When they're klooping like that, they don't want to look down below. They want something up high. They're looking up at the top of the water. So I'm thinking if I put something on top of the water, maybe they'll take it off the top. But we'll see. It's not really anything they would normally eat, so just kind of shot in the dark. We've tried 50 flies, so we might as well try 51.
Chasing these big carp on a fly rod is a real kick, but it also is a big challenge. Oh, how about that? How about that for a strip? That was cool. They have very, very sensitive lateral lines. They're super intelligent fish, and they really are hard to fool with a fly. They don't. You want to hold them up for the camera, Louie? Is it your birthday?
Not really. You just don't want to touch the stinky carp.
Well done. The day starts to wear on, and you know we're getting our groove. We're casting at fish. They're rising. They're eating, and I see this one big carp, and he is just slurping and just eating. We gotta get somebody might have to push us out of here with a net. Got in too shallow. Oh my God, that was so freaking cool. Just saw this big old carp in here, just slurping. Turn the, I got the scene. He's gonna get me. You might have to get us out of here, Louie. I'll come back here. He's gonna take me in the sticks. Oh God, he's gonna take me in the sticks. That's a big fish. He's got me in my backing, in the sticks. Dude, that thing is huge. He just turned and freaking smoked it.
Denis casts to this one, nice long cast, puts it right in front of him. He comes over, takes a fly, and it's a huge carp on a 5-weight rod. And I thought, there's no way he's gonna land this carp on a 5-weight.
Get out the sticks, you bastard. Come on. Ah!
I'm gonna have to get him head first.
God!
He knows it's coming.
Oh, this thing is an epic battle. I'm talking Louie's holding onto the boat and it's pulling us around. It's shallow. My motor's bouncing off the rocks. I mean, it is around the boat and around the boat. And one thing about these carp is they don't quit. I mean, we're talking a 20-pound carp here on a 5-weight. Yes! That thing's a donkey. That thing is so big. Woo!
That's 20 pounds easy.
That's a 20-pound fish. This thing is so heavy. Biggest fish I've ever had on a 5-weight, I think. Wow. Woo! Hey, thanks for the net.
He ends up getting it in. It was an awesome fish and a great job of catching it.
2 days of carp fishing. You know, it really is a lot of fun. COVID 2020 year, we're trying to do an extended backyard, a bunch of programs for you guys out there. And the carp are really a cool fish. Fly fishing for them is a lot of fun. So wild fish, wild places. And yeah, we're on to the next spot.